welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I'm your host, Larry, the delectable Chupacabra man, doing something a little different. I needed a backup microphone because I think my Blue Yeti is on the fritz. So it's like end of the year holiday sales, so I decided to grab a Blue Nessie microphone. And this microphone, you can see it right here. I guess they call it Nessie because it kind of comes up like this and looks like the Loch Ness Monster head kind of cresting above the waves of, I don't know, whatever place that the Loch Ness Monster is supposed to be from. And this is a microphone that's supposed to be kind of for like people that do podcasts, people that do like YouTube commentaries, people that do a little bit of singing. And it's supposed to be nice because it's supposed to have the ability to let you just tweak a knob and do a lot of the compression and the filtration like right through the microphone. We're going to unbox it today. So it's got this nifty little box. It's got, a bunch of different artwork on it. It's got all the details. There's sort of the sideways that you can kind of see what's going on. So let me spin my... There we go. And what's it say on the back? It says, perfect for recording vocals, instruments, voiceovers, automatically applies filters, and includes professional features like headphone monitoring, mute, pop filter, and shock mount. Okay, so let's just pop this sucker open. It's an unboxing video, right? So, come on, you. Open. Alright, so right here, in front of the box, we've got the Blue Nessie booklet. It's Guitar Man! There we go. It's Guitar Man. It's like I'm reading a book to 5-year-olds. Not that you're a 5-year-old, but you might be. So this would be the microphone that you'd want. It's got the features guide. It's got all fancy. Alright, well, whatever. Throw that on my bed. Alright, I've got a big honking square in here that does not want to come out. Alright, so I guess we don't need the rest of that box. We'll throw that in the background. And a lot of foam in here. Lots of foam and stuff like that. Let's pull you out. Come on, you blue devil, you. Alright, well, seems kind of redundant to have two boxes in here, but you got this foam kind of clamshell thing going on. You can kind of see in there. There's mysteries. Oh, shit. And look, it's even got like the Blue Nessie logo there. And that's it. You got the microphone, and you got, what kind of cable is this? It's a little, it's a micro USB. So it's the little USB that I use for like my phone and stuff. So that's kind of a step up from the Blue Yeti that I got in the other room, my office. Let me just take this open. Oh, the packaging preservative thing that keeps the moisture out fell down. So that's right there. It's a big honker. It's a big honking kind of sphere or something. And it's got the active light here at the bottom so that you can see that you're on air. And what's in the back? So in the back here, you can see you've got the audio cable in, and then you've got, it looks like it's got like a music compression setting there, a RAW setting, and I don't know what the line is. We'll have to look in the thing. And in the bottom, look, there's a little Blue Nessie. See, Loch Ness Monster popping its head out of the water. Isn't that cute? Alright, so this is actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It kind of swivels here a little bit. Alright, well I guess... Oh, hello. This is actually a dial. This bottom speaker portion is a huge dial. Wow, that is actually kind of impressive. Alright. So yeah, this might actually be a good replacement for my Blue Yeti. I think this might just work better overall. Alright, well, let me see here what the different modes of the Blue Nessie are while I'm sitting here. So let's see. 3 recording modes. Yep, I got that already. Let's see here. Where are my recording modes, computer? You'd think there'd be some big pictures in here. as to what... Okay, so here we go. So, the red sort of sphere there, you see that? That's the voice mode. There's music mode, and I guess there's just raw input mode is that little line thing there, if the camera will focus. There you go. So, it's kind of cute. I like it. I mean, I like the size. It's much more manageable than the big honkin' clunky Blue Yeti, although it is taller, I think. And you can't... I could be wrong. I don't think there's like a screw on. I can't mount this to my my pedestal in the other room for when I want to record my PS4. So I guess that's kind of cute. All right. Well, that's the Blue Yeti, or not the Blue Yeti, the Blue Nessie that I'm going to use as a backup for my Blue Yeti. And you can buy these everywhere. I got this one on Amazon. It was 75% off for the end of year sales. And I guess you just take this big honking USB, plug her in the back. Although it wants you to plug it in upside down. And you're ready to go. That's all you need. And I'm going to put this to voice. And now we're set. I can plug my studio headphones in here. I got these old Logitech studio headphones that they were being discontinued a while back, and I'm good to go. So that's the Blue Nessie. I guess for the second half of this, I'll put in some sound samples for you guys, so you can see and hear how it sounds. All right, we're back inside of the sound editor right now for the second half of this unboxing and first impressions video. And the first thing that you'll notice, I'll just put a video up here on the screen, is when you plug in the Blue Nessie microphone, it doesn't have a red recording light on it anywhere. Instead, the entire pedestal, like the very bottom, it's ringed by a sort of an LED pad that is white, and when it's solid white, it's able to record, and when it blinks, it is not able to record. And funny thing, I was actually expecting the little button on here to be like a full-on press toggle button where it's like got a click to it, but it seems that they've put in a small touch sensor like you'd have on the screen of your phone, and you barely have to even nudge it, tap it, or slide your finger over it in order to turn it off, and when the light is blinking, it is not recording. So be careful when you switch the recording mode on the back. Sometimes when I grab the stem, I nudge the button, not even if you're just kind of close to it, and it sort of turns off the microphone. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you don't have that off when you're trying to record. And the other thing I noticed that was interesting was there is an exposed cord, like the center of the stem. You can see the sound cable that goes from the receiver up in the top, the cardioid receiver that's in the big bulb, and it goes to the base where it does all of its filtering and stuff. But it does feel pretty sturdy. Like, this feels like there's some metal in there. It's some pretty sturdy plastic, so I wouldn't worry about breaking this. But again, this is delicate equipment. Be gentle with it. It's a dainty creature. So aside from that, the only other note I have is that the back port, the little plug for your headphones, it doesn't seem to receive desktop audio like the Blue Yeti does. It seems to be exclusively for adjusting the volume and what you hear from the microphone itself, and it's basically just one big side tone that lets you directly hear what the microphone hears. That might change depending on your settings, but when I was testing it out, that was what I was getting. So, anywho, let's quickly show you guys a comparison of the two different voice modes, and we will be able to go from there. So anywho, this is what the Blue Nessie sounds like with the voice filter turned on. There's also a music filter if you were to play an instrument. However, I don't really do that anymore. I have a violin in the other room, but I don't really play that anymore. And it seems to jankle with your voice a little bit if, in fact, you try to, use it instead of just the voice mode. So here is the voice filter. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your friend Larry, the Chupacabra man, and this is a sample of what the Blue Nessie microphone sounds like when you put it onto the compressed voice mode.
and it seems like it adds a little bit more of like the highs and the lows and compresses it a little bit and sort of brings up the breathy noises just a smidge, but it seems a little better if you were going to stream than just, say, raw audio would. So it doesn't sound too bad, and honestly, if I was going to stream, that sounds pretty decent, honestly, which is actually why, part of the reason why I picked this microphone up, along with being a backup in case the main big puppy dog goes on the fritz, and it kind of has been acting up recently. And then here's what it sounds like with the raw. You'll notice that some of the breathy noises are a little bit louder because I was holding the microphone, but on the whole, it doesn't pick up quite as much of the background sound. Now this voice sample is what the Blue Nessie sounds like without the audio filter, and honestly, for my purposes, I would prefer it a little bit more. It doesn't have... Actually, you know what? I take that back. It sounds like it does remove quite a bit of the breathy noises. The same boost to the lows and the high end of the voice, but it certainly would leave it a lot easier to edit after the fact, and it also doesn't pick up quite as much of the breathy noises. Alright, so you kind of get the idea. It kind of adds a little bit more filtration. It adds, like, it fixes some of the missing highs and lows when you use a USB microphone. And that's something that happens with a lot of microphones that you'll get that don't cost $1 bajillion, is that they kind of neuter your voice a little bit, and they take off a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom for, like, the highs and the lows. And it usually sounds a bit better if you sweeten that up in something like Adobe Audition before you put it out to go see and touch and share with the world. I'm going to say this is a pretty good buy. Honestly, though, I mean, if you're going to spend a little bit extra money, or you're willing to spend a little bit extra money, and you're primarily going to be editing your audio, I would go with a Blue Yeti. If you really want to stream, if you want to just kind of grab samples and put them up for podcasts or send them off to somebody else to quickly mess with if they have time, I would suggest the Blue Nessie because it's a little easier to work with. And the only other thing I can think of is that if you go into your system preferences, you might notice that my audio is getting a bit clipped up here. The Blue Nessie is a pretty loud device. This is, turned down by like a fourth. I would honestly suggest turning it down to about 50% or 65%, because it is a loud microphone. This thing is sitting, when I was recording that first one, it was sitting across the desk from me, next to my computer monitor, a good arm's distance away. It will pick up your voice. So if you're going to have it way up close to your face, like if you want to do like a professional recording with less audio in the background that you have to remove, then you want to turn this sucker way down. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I would suggest and recommend this microphone. It's a good value. The filter does a pretty decent job. However, if you can, or if you prefer to edit your audio in some way, I would recommend waiting and using the raw function and just editing it if possible. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. This has been the first unboxing video I've ever done. I hope you enjoyed, and this has helped you if you're trying to figure out whether or not you want to buy the Blue Nessie. It's pretty good. It can be kind of expensive, but it's a pretty good value. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Toodles!